Welcome to Mind Vomit. So a while back, my wife and I were watching Jimmy Kimmel live on YouTube, and there was this segment called On the Money, where you had to guess who the people were on your money, starting with the penny and working your way up.
Who is on the penny?
Oh. Abraham Lincoln?
That is correct. All right.
I was telling my wife about all these different denominations of money, and I'm showing you a little bit of this now. So we're looking through the different bills that were made, and we went across, here's $1,000 Grover Cleveland bill, $5,000 James Madison. And as you're rolling down here, you see $10,000 in 1918, Salmon Chase.
What?
Who the hell is Salmon Chase? You click on the picture, and you think most of your bills had presidents on it, right? Who is Salmon Chase? We start doing some digging, trying to figure out, well, who was Treasury Secretary in 1918? And it turns out the Treasury Secretary was William G. McAdoo, or whatever, but all I know is that these names are making us crack up. And here's a picture of William McAdoo himself, right? Well, how did this Salmon Chase get on this $10,000 bill? Well, we find out that he was the Treasury Secretary back in, what does that say, 1861 to 1864? So he's in charge of the Treasury, and he's also in charge of establishing the $1 bill. And this is where we find out something that was mind-blowing to both of us. And that was, we think about the $1 bill, George Washington's on the $1 bill, so on and so forth. Well, we were completely wrong, because who's actually on the $1 bill is Salmon Chase.
Am I thinking something interesting? It is interesting. Yes.
And we're like, why is this, did this guy put himself on the $1 bill, right? And also, if you think the name sounds a little familiar, yes, it has to do with Chase Bank. That's where the name comes from. So we're looking back, and we found out Salmon Chase is the Treasury Secretary, and he's making the first dollar bill, and they even have an explanation as to why he's on the dollar bill. He said, as noted here, let's see, we gotta scroll down here and find this. He said here, how Secretary Chase came to be portrayed on the $1 bill is described in a pamphlet of his speeches. Going home to vote, Chase stated, I went to work and made greenbacks, and a good many of them. I had some handsome pictures put on them, right? And as I liked to be among the people and was kept close to visit them in any other way, and as the engravers thought me rather good looking,
Good one.
I told them they might put me on the end of one of the dollar bills. So this guy is so full of himself. I mean, look at him. He's a good looking guy right here, right? And then he decides, you know what? I like being with the people. I'm a handsome guy, so I hear. Might as well just put me on the dollar bill, right? And so now, this fool, because he puts himself on a dollar bill, himself, is now put on the $10,000 bill in 1918, right? And it says here the $10,000 bill featuring the portrait of President Lincoln's Secretary of the Treasury, Salmon P. Chase, was the highest denomination U.S. currency ever to publicly circulate. Although a $100,000 bill featuring the portrait of Woodrow Wilson was issued, its purpose was to transfer funds between Federal Reserve banks and not to pass in retail transactions. My wife and I were losing it. I thought I would share this little bit of history that we found hilarious because George Washington hasn't been on the $1 bill this whole time. And this guy's been on two. Hope you learned something, and I hope you found it as hilarious as I found it, because it's pretty funny.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Thanks for watching Mind Vomit. Check out links in the description, help support the channel, and we appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot.